ESPN turned themselves upside down. Mel Kiper embarrassed himself over this.
Yeah, and if I don't want to say people should have listened to me, but they should have listened to me. Like I was saying for 2 months that like
you've been saying he's dropping.
Most of the league does not look at him like he's a first-round talent. Now, I will say this. I think the fall out of the first 2 rounds was about talent and performance. I think the fall after that was about everything else.
Then you become Tebow.
Because I think at that point, like when you get to the 3rd round, now we're talking about for some teams players that are depth or they're developmental. And those players generally have to develop in the shadows. And this was the case. I mean, we've seen a zillion cases of it.
Did you see what he did yesterday?
Your backup quarterback, they want you to blend in with the furniture. It's why Jay Cutler didn't have a second life as a player. It's why Cam Newton didn't have a second life as a player. It's why, again, like why I think Tim Tebow, or at least part of the reason why Tim Tebow and Colin Kaepernick, after it had been deemed they are no longer starters, had trouble finding jobs. It's so like I think there is that. And then there's the way he handled the process, which he handled the process like he was a top 5 lock. Like, for example, Abdul Carter only met with 4 teams. Cam Ward only met with 1 team, really, as far as a visit and everything else. I think he visited the Browns too, but it was very limited who he visited with. If you know you're going that high, you can do that. If you're anyone else, Zoe, you were in this position. You were auditioning for all 32.
I went to the combine for 7 days.
Yeah.
And I threw it to the defense for 4, and that's how I went up.
Yeah.
I wasn't ranked very high. But then you throw darts for 4 days to defensive backs and linebackers, and like, holy crap, this kid's got a gun.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, but that's the thing. Is like, so,
the more you can do.
Shedeur was handling it like he was a top 5 pick. And that was never the case.
He was top 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what he was saying.
But then the problem was the dad
so
2
like,
weeks before, like, well, we're gonna put him where we think we should put him.
So then you get to Saturday, and it's like you're in the 4th round, and it's like there are all these teams that either heard the bad stories for the other teams, or that you refused to meet with, or that had a bad experience with you personally, and it's like. Now the pool
or have no need for a quarterback.
Right.
There's,
So
there's teams that don't have need one.
Now like the amount of teams that are willing to do it has narrowed. Plus, by the way, like if you were going to bring him in based on his reputation, wouldn't you have wanted to sit down with him first if you're going to introduce that into your quarterback room or into your locker room
and find out what he's all about?
But he wasn't.
Personality.
But he wasn't handling his process that way. So like that's why.
How many teams did he meet with?
I don't know what the total number, but I can tell you stories of teams like that were. I mean,
Colin Cowherd had the one on the Giants.
Daboll and the Giants story seems to be leaking all over the place if you pay attention.
I'll give you another one, but the Giants one, like, so there was they give players an install, and there are mistakes intentionally put in the install, and he didn't catch them and got called on it, and it didn't go well after that. There was another team that he sat down with.
What do you mean it didn't go well after that?
So, he was pissed that they did that to him. They did that to him.
He counter confronted them.
The same thing they do to every other quarterback prospect. They did that to him. They slide in a mistake to see if you catch it.
Right. And so
because you're the quarterback,
but he didn't take it as a correction. He took it as like he got pissed off.
And it's like so here's another one. So another one was he throws a bad interception, and like it was a deep throw early in the game, and he comes back and they go in the meeting, they show the interception, and they say, what happened here? Well, I like to get into a rhythm earlier in the game, and they get into it over that, and his conclusion is, well, maybe I'm not a fit for you. And it's like stuff like that. It's like you're sitting in a meeting with an NFL team. You're trying to sell yourself. You're in a job interview, and it's maybe I'm not what?